Hello, my sweet friends. Today I have a wonderful tall tale for you. It's called Thunder Rose, and it's written by Jerdine Nolan and illustrated by Kadir Nelson. Now, like all tall tales, this is a long story, so we're going to read it for 2 days. Today we're going to read part 1, and tomorrow we're going to read part 2. And our good friend Auntie Potato will be joining us for both. Jerdine Nolan says that this book is from Marcy Imberger, Barbara Love, Joyce Millman, Linda Spalding, and a young girl I once knew who also grew up to be more good than strong. And Kadir Nelson says this book is for my little girls, Amel and Aya, who are full of thunder and lightning. I love you with all my heart. Love, Daddy. Rose was the first child born free and easy to Jackson and Millicent Magruder. I recall most vividly the night that she came into this world. Hailing rain, flashing lightning, and booming thunder pounded the door, inviting themselves in for the blessed event. Taking in her first breath of life, the infant didn't cry out. Rather, she sat up and looked around. She took hold of that lightning, rolled it into a ball, and set it above her shoulder, while the thunder echoed out over the other. They say this just accentuated the fact that the child had the power of thunder and lightning coursing through her veins. "She's gonna grow up to be good and strong, all right," Doc Holliday said. The child turned to the good doctor with a thoughtful glance and replied, "I reckon I will want to do more than that, thank you very kindly." Shifting her gaze to the 2 loving lights shining on her, which were her ma and pa, she remarked, "Much obliged to you both for this chance to make my way into the world." Then she announced to no one in particular, "I'm right partial to the name Rose." So much in love with this gift of their lives, her ma and pa hovered over her in watchful splendor. Overcome with that love, they lifted their voices in song, an old song, and a melody so sweet and true, a lullaby passed down from the ages, echoing since the beginning of time. "There is a music ringing so sweetly in my ears," the newborn exclaimed. "It's given me a fortunate feeling rumbling deep in the pit of me. I'll register it here at the bullseye set in the center of my heart and see what I can do with it one day." Rose snored up plenty that first night, breathing on her own, rattling the rafters on the roof right along with the booming thunder. She seemed determined to be just as forceful as that storm. With the thunder and lightning keeping watch over her the rest of the night, her ma and pa just took to calling her Thunder Rose. The next morning, when the sun was high yellow in the billowy blue sky, Rose woke up hungry as a bear in spring, but not the least bit ornery. Minding her manners, she politely thanked her ma for the milk, but it was not enough to quench her hungry thirst. Rose preferred, instead, to drink her milk straight from the cow. Her ma was right grateful to have such a resourceful child. No other newborn had the utter strength to lift a whole cow clear over her head and almost drink it dry. In a moment's time, Rose did, quite daintily so. She was as pretty as a picture, had the sweetest disposition, but don't let yourself be misled. That child was full of lightning and thunder. out on that paper bag brown, dusty, dry, wide open space, Rose often was found humming a sweet little tune as she did her chores. And true to her word, Rose did more than grow good and strong. The 2-year-old became quite curious about the pile of scrap iron lying next to the barn. Rose took a good-sized piece, stretched it here, bent and twisted it there. She constructed a thunderbolt as black as pitch to punctuate her name. She called it coal. Wherever she went, coal was always by her side. Noticing how skilled Rose was with the metal, her pa made sure there was an extra supply of it always around. At the age of 5, Rose did a commendable job staking the fence without a bit of help. During her 8th and 9th years, Rose assembled some iron beams together with the wood blocks she used to play and constructed a building tall enough to scrape the sky, always humming as she worked. By the time she turned 12, Rose had perfected her metal bending practices. She formed delicately shaped alphabet letters to help the young ones learn to read. For his birthday, Rose presented her pa with a branding iron, a circle with a big M-A-C for Magruder in the middle. Just in time, too, because a herd of quick-tempered longhorn steer was stampeding its way from the Rio Grande. They were playing a path straight toward her front door. Rose performed an eye-catching wonder, the likes of which was something to see. Running lightning fast toward the herd, using coal for support, Rose vaulted into the air and landed on the back of the biggest lead steer like he was a merry-go-round pony. Grabbing a horn in each hand, Rose twisted that varmint to a complete halt. It was just enough to restrain that top bull and the rest of the herd. But I believe what touched that critter's heart was when Rose began humming her little tune. That cantankerous ton of beef was restless no more. He became as playful as a kitten and even tried to purr. Rose named him Tater on account of that was his favorite vegetable. Hearing Rose's lullaby put that considerable creature to sleep was the sweetest thing I'd witnessed in a long, long time. After the dust had settled, Ma and Pa counted 2,700 head of cattle after they had added in the 500 they already had. Using the scrap iron, Rose had to add a new section to the bullpen to hold them all. "What did you do to the wire, Rose?" Ma asked, surprised and pleased at her daughter's latest creation. "Oh, that," she said. "While I was staking the fence, Pa asked me to keep little Barbara J company. That little twisty pattern seemed to make the babies laugh, so I like to think of it as Barbara's wire." "Oh, well, that's quite clever of you to be so entertaining to the little ones like that," her ma said. Rose just blushed. Over the years, that twisty wire caught on, and folks just called it barbed wire. Rose and her pa spent the whole next day sorting out the animals that had not been branded. "One day soon, before the cold weather gets in," she told her pa, "I'll have to get this herd up the Chisholm Trail and to market in Abilene. I suspect Tater's the right kind of horse for the long drive northward." And that ends part 1 of Thunder Rose's story. Tomorrow, I bet you she's going to go up the Chisholm Trail to market in Abilene, and some really neat things are going to happen from that. So come by tomorrow to finish Thunder Rose. I hope you stay happy, stay healthy, and keep reading.